The New Zealand Food Network has surveyed 43 of its food hubs, food rescue organisations, IW, food banks and charities about the state of their communities. They found that the demand for food support continues to skyrocket as a result of the long-lasting impacts of COVID-19 and the ever-increasing cost of living. Food Network's Chief Executive Gavin Finlay is with us now. Kia ora, Gavin. Thank you for joining us.
Kia ora, Neil.
What kinds of questions did you present to food hubs in your survey?
We just really wanted to understand, Neil, what level of requests and support they were having. So, in terms of the demographic and the people that were coming to them for support. So we're really trying to really understand, from our perspective, what we can do to support and help. So, how many, what's the numbers, what ages, how many people. So kind of just getting a real feel for what they were going through.
Now, the findings also suggested that the pandemic had and are still having a serious impact on some of our most vulnerable people. What did you find here?
It certainly is. So, senior citizens, those with sickness and disability, really were very, very badly affected, as were those who, obviously with unemployment and lower incomes levels, were really struggling to actually put the basics on the table for themselves. So, very broad range, and it's countrywide. It's not area specific.
So this is from right throughout the country, Gavin.
Absolutely. So from Invercargill to Whangarei in Northland, the East Cape, Taranaki, South Auckland, people are doing it tough. Transitioning out of the COVID environment where, there was some unemployment and a lot less, lower skilled roles actually happening. Transitioning into this, as you mentioned, the high cost of living, the inflationary pressures that are happening across the world, meaning that affordability in many different areas is really hard.
So what other information really stood out for you from this survey?
It's just really the understanding that this isn't going to go away anytime soon. We asked the participants to understand to what level they think they are achieving the support levels, and it was just over 70%. So there's still another 30% out there that they think they aren't reaching, and they do not think that this is actually going to resolve itself anytime soon. So we call it a kind of a long tail of COVID. So 6, 12, 18 months down the track, we still think there'll be a real need to continue that support.
Gavin, I guess the information that you've gathered is not surprising, it's just disappointing because of what you're hearing anyway. One of your recipient food hubs, Te Runanga o Te Whānau, provides food support for Te Whānau Apuni. How have they been able to cope with the rising prices of food, which seems to only be getting worse, especially as they're an isolated, remote community with high levels of poverty? Things are just getting worse for them, aren't they?
They are. We would have thought that perhaps transitioning out of COVID and the numbers of record low unemployment would translate into, people's own lives being a little bit better. It's just not the case. And certainly in the more remote communities, getting support and help into them, we really, really do rely on, those organisations who really have got a feel for what the local community is needing, and we're just really hopefully helping them to make our life a little bit easier for their own planet.
All right, we have to continue to support. CEO of New Zealand Food Network, Gavin Finlay, thank you so much for your time, and thank you for the mahi that you're doing. Ngā mihi.
Good idea, and thanks to you for allowing us to share what we're doing.
Pleasure. We'll talk to you again.